Good evening, everyone. You're very welcome to the Learn on the Road podcast with Mike and Jennifer. We're diving deep today, and I mean deep, into the heart of Ireland.
Ireland.
10 incredible places. We're going to explore them all, and hopefully by the end of this, you guys are going to be booking those plane tickets.
Let's do it.
So I've got to say, doing the research for this one, I was blown away. Like Ireland's always been on my travel list, but now it's like bumped right to the top.
Yeah. It really is one of those places that has something for everyone. You've got the history, the myth, the landscape, and the culture. I mean, where else can you find ancient castles perched on rugged cliffs, rolling green hills dotted with sheep, and vibrant cities pulsing with music? It's truly a unique destination.
Right. And that's what I love about this list we're working with. It's like, it's not just the typical tourist spots,
Right.
Like, yeah, Dublin's on there, but there's also these hidden gems that I'd never even heard of before.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to focus on. We want to give you a taste of the unexpected, like the stuff that's going to make you go, wow, I got to see that.
Absolutely. So where are we starting this epic Irish adventure?
Let's kick things off in the north.
All right, up north.
Up in County Donegal on the Inishowen Peninsula. You mentioned you hadn't heard much about it before, right?
Yeah, Inishowen, it's like completely off my radar.
Well, get ready to be amazed because this place is like a hidden gem, Picture dramatic cliffs plunging into the wild Atlantic, ancient forts whispering tales of battles long past, and a rugged coastline that begs to be explored.
Sign me up. That sounds incredible.
And the best way to experience all of that, the Inishowen 100.
The Inishowen 100. What's that? Some kind of race?
Haha, not quite. It's a scenic driving route. 100 miles of pure coastal bliss. You can take your time, stop at all the viewpoints, and just soak in the beauty of it all.
I can already picture myself cruising along that coast, windows down, Irish music blasting.
You got it. And along the way, make sure you stop at Fort Dunree. It's this old military fort perched right on the edge of a cliff, and it has the most incredible views.
A sort on a cliff.
Okay.
That's definitely going on my must-see list.
Oh, and I almost forgot. Did I mention that Inishowen is one of the best places in Ireland to see the Northern Lights?
Wait, hold on. The Northern Lights in Ireland.
Yeah, you heard that right. During the winter months, when the skies are dark and clear, you might just catch a glimpse of that magical aurora borealis dancing across the sky. Imagine that, the Northern Lights over the Irish coast.
That's insane. I mean, I knew Ireland was beautiful, but I had no idea. Okay, so Inishowen's definitely at the top of my list now. But where do we go next?
All right, let's head south along the coast to Northwest Mayo.
Northwest Mayo, okay.
Yeah. This region is a nature lover's paradise. We're talking pristine beaches, dramatic cliffs, and crystal clear waters that are just teeming with marine life.
Okay, that sounds right up my alley. You had me at pristine beaches.
Right. And you're gonna love Mulranny Beach. It's this long stretch of powdery white sand with turquoise waters that'll make you think you're in the Caribbean. Seriously. That good. Okay, so Mulranny Beach. I'm writing that down. But you mentioned adventures, right? What kind of adventures are we talking about in Northwest Mayo?
Well, for starters, you've got kayaking. Imagine paddling along the coastline, exploring hidden sea caves, and maybe even spotting a dolphin or two.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're feeling adventurous, you could try your hand at coast steering. It's like rock climbing and cliff jumping all rolled into one.
Coast steering, that sounds a bit intense for me. I might stick to the kayaking.
Yeah, coast steering's not for everyone, but it's definitely an adrenaline rush if you're up for it.
I'll leave that to the daredevils. But okay, so we've explored the rugged north coast, but what about inland? I know Ireland's got some incredible cities too.
Oh, absolutely. And we're heading to one of the best right now, Kilkenny.
Kilkenny. Okay, I've heard of Kilkenny. It's got that medieval vibe, right?
Yeah, it's like stepping back in time. You've got narrow cobblestone streets, ancient churches, and of course, Kilkenny Castle, which dominates the city skyline.
A castle, eh? Yeah, and not just any castle. Kilkenny Castle was once the stronghold of the powerful Butler family. These guys ruled over the region for centuries.
Wow, so we're talking serious history here.
Oh yeah, but Kilkenny's not just about the past. It's got this vibrant art scene too. You'll find galleries and studios tucked away down those little alleyways, and there are always festivals and events happening throughout the year.
So it's like a perfect blend of history and culture.
Exactly. And don't forget the pubs. Kilkenny's got some of the best traditional Irish pubs in the country.
Okay, you had me at pubs. So Kilkenny, it's got the castle, the arts, the pubs. What's not to love?
Exactly.
All right, so from Kilkenny, where are we heading?
Let's keep moving south. Next stop, Limerick City.
Limerick. Now, I know Limerick mostly for its rugby, right? Like huge rugby town.
Oh, for sure. If you're a rugby fan, Limerick's a must visit. The Munster team, they're like legends.
Yeah, I can only imagine the atmosphere on match day.
Electric. But Limerick's more than just rugby. You've also got King John's Castle. This massive fortress sits right on the banks of the River Shannon, and it dates back to like the 13th century.
Wow, 13th century, that's going way back.
Yeah, Limerick's got a long and fascinating history. I mean, it's been a Viking settlement, a Norman stronghold, and everything in between.
So it's like a layer cake of history. Right?
Exactly. And speaking of layers, Limerick's got a pretty cool arts and culture scene, too. You've got the Hunt Museum, which houses this eclectic collection of art and artifacts. And then there's the Milk Market, which is a great spot to find local produce and crafts.
So much to see. And of course, we can't forget about the pubs, right? Limerick's got to have some good ones.
Oh, absolutely. Limerick's got a pub for every taste, from traditional Irish pubs with live music to trendy craft beer bars.
Okay, Limerick is definitely moving up my list. But now we got to talk about the big one, right? Dublin.
Dublin, the capital city, the heart of Ireland. It's a must visit for anyone traveling to Ireland, that's for sure.
Yeah, but Dublin's huge, right? Like, where do you even start?
Well, you can't go to Dublin without visiting Trinity College. It's one of the oldest and most prestigious universities in the world, and it's home to the Book of Kells.
The Book of Kells.
Yeah, it's this incredible illuminated manuscript that dates back to the 9th century. It's a masterpiece of Irish art and one of the most important historical artifacts in the world.
Wow, 9th century. That's older than any book I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's truly remarkable. And after you've soaked up some history at Trinity College, head over to Temple Bar.
Temple Bar. Now we're talking.
Yeah, Temple Bar is the heart of Dublin's nightlife. It's packed with pubs, restaurants, and live music venues. It's always buzzing.
So it's like the place to go for a good crack, right?
Exactly. And if you're a beer lover, you can't miss the Guinness Storehouse.
Of course, it's Guinness, right? Gotta have a Guinness in Dublin.
Absolutely.
Okay, Dublin sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But now, I'm curious, what about the West Coast? What's over there?
Oh, the West Coast is where the magic really happens.
Yeah.
And we're headed to one of my favorite cities in all of Ireland, Galway.
Galway City. Okay, I know Galway has that kind of like bohemian vibe, right?
Yeah, it's always got this unique energy. It's a city where artists, musicians, and storytellers all come together.
So it's like the creative heart of Ireland, right?
Exactly. Imagine strolling through the cobbled streets of the Latin Quarter with its colorful shop fronts and cozy pubs.
Feels charming.
And then there's the Salt Hill Promenade, where you can walk along the Atlantic coast with the wind in your hair. And of course, Galway's known for its traditional music. You'll find live music sessions happening in pubs all over the city.
So it's like a feast for the senses, right?
Exactly.
Okay, Galway's definitely on my list. Now, you mentioned earlier that County Clare is like the heartland of traditional Irish music.
Oh, absolutely. County Clare is where Irish music comes alive. And you can't talk about County Clare without mentioning the Cliffs of Moher.
The Cliffs of Moher.
Yeah. These are some of the most dramatic cliffs in all of Europe. They rise over 700 feet straight up from the Atlantic Ocean. It's like something out of a movie.
Wow, 700 feet? That's insane.
Yeah. It's truly breathtaking. And just inland from the Cliffs of Moher, you've got the Burren. It's this unique landscape of limestone pavement that's home to a surprising diversity of plant life. It's like walking on the moon.
Okay, that's got to be seen to be believed. So Cliffs of Moher, the Burren, and the music, right?
And the music. Don't forget the music. If you want to experience the true spirit of Irish music, head to Doolin.
Doolin.
Yeah, it's this tiny village that's known as the traditional music capital of Ireland. There are pubs in Doolin where you can hear live music every single night of the week.
Every night. Wow, that's dedication. Okay, so County Clare is definitely on the itinerary. But now we're heading up north again, right? To the Causeway Coast.
The Causeway Coast, home to one of the most incredible natural wonders in the world, the Giant's Causeway.
The Giant's Causeway. Now that's a name I recognize, but I don't really know what it is.
Well, imagine 40,000 hexagonal basalt columns, all perfectly interlocking, stretching out into the sea.
40,000. And they're all like hexagonal.
Yeah, it's like something out of a science fiction movie. Legend has it that they were built by a giant named Finn McCool.
Okay, now that's a story I gotta hear.
Oh, we'll get into the legends later, but trust me, the Giant's Causeway is a sight you'll never forget.
All right, Giant's Causeway, check. And I know the Causeway Coast has more to offer, right?
Oh, yeah, tons more. You've got the Carrick-a-Reed Rope Bridge.
A rope bridge.
Yeah, it's this wobbly rope bridge that connects the mainland to a tiny island.
Wobbly. How wobbly are we talking?
Wobbly enough to get your heart racing, that's for sure. But the views from the island are incredible.
Okay, maybe I'll skip the rope bridge. I'm not a big fan of heights.
Fair enough. But even if you don't cross the bridge, the Causeway Coast is just stunning. The scenery's epic.
All right, Causeway Coast is a must-see. But we're running out of time, so let's hit up our last destination, the Ring of Kerry.
The Ring of Kerry. Ah, the classic Irish road trip.
Yeah, I've heard of the Ring of Kerry. It's like a driving route, right?
Yeah. It's a 111-mile loop that takes you through some of the most stunning scenery in Ireland. You've got mountains, lakes, forests, and coastline, all in one incredible package.
Okay, so it's like the best of Ireland all rolled into one epic drive.
Exactly. And along the way, you'll pass through Killarney National Park, which is home to this stunning mountain range called the McGillicuddy's Reeks.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
It is, but it's beautiful. And then there's the Gap of Dunlow, which is this narrow mountain pass carved by glaciers.
Glaciers. Wow, Ireland was once covered in glaciers.
Yeah, long, long ago. And speaking of long ago, you'll also pass by the Skellig Islands.
The Skellig Islands. Wait a minute, those are the islands from Star Wars?
You got it. They were featured in the latest Star Wars movies.
No way. That's so cool. I gotta see those islands.
Oh, they're incredible. They're these jagged, rocky islands that rise straight out of the sea. And they're home to a colony of puffins.
Puffins. Okay, now that's adorable.
Right.
So the Ring of Kerry, it's got mountains, lakes, Star Wars islands, and puffins.
Exactly. What more could you ask for?
All right, Ring of Kerry, it's a must-do. But we gotta wrap things up. Our last stop is Cork City.
Cork City, the rebel city. A city with its own unique character.
The Rebel City. What makes Cork so rebellious?
Well, Cork has a long history of independence and a strong sense of local pride. They like to do things their own way.
I like it. Independent and proud.
Exactly. But aside from its rebellious spirit, Cork is also a foodie paradise.
Ooh, foodie paradise.
Yeah, you've got to check out the English Market. It's this amazing covered market that's been around since the 18th century, and it's packed with stalls selling everything from fresh produce to artisan cheeses to local seafood.
Okay, so it's like a foodie's dream come true, right?
Exactly. And then there's Blarney Castle.
Blarney Castle, home of the Blarney Stone, right?
The one and only. You know the one you kiss to get the gift of gab?
Yeah, gotta kiss the Blarney Stone.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Cork's got a vibrant arts and music scene too. You'll find tons of live music venues, theaters, and art galleries.
Wow, so Cork's got it all, huh? The food, the history, the Blarney Stone, and the arts.
Exactly.
Man, we've covered so much ground today. I feel like I need to book a flight to Ireland right now.
Do it. I'm telling you, you won't regret it.
All right, so for our listeners out there who are already packing their bags, what's the one piece of advice you'd give them?
Don't be afraid to get lost. Seriously, some of the best experiences you'll have in Ireland will be the ones you didn't plan for. Talk to the locals, explore those hidden alleyways, and just soak in the magic of the Emerald Isle. You might be surprised at what you discover.
Great advice. And who knows, maybe we'll do another deep dive into Ireland someday.
Yeah.
There's just so much to explore.
Absolutely.
All right, that's it for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Santangivoy.